Hello, everyone. Today is December 21st, 2020, the day of Saturn and Jupiter and all of the lovely planets aligning. And so we're going to focus. This is what we completed yesterday with some intention set around the old paradigms that we were living in. And today I'm just going to pick up where I left off and do this painting in a very loving way. So, firstly, I'm sending all my love and light to everybody. I'm getting massive downloads right now. My ears are ringing at an all time high. I haven't really been able to hear much this morning other than that. So greetings. I am in Canada, in case anybody didn't know, in Calgary. So today, my focus and intent is Calgary is located right underneath the pure vortex on at Buffalo Lake here in Alberta. And what that means is that our city has had the ability to manifest a lot more energy than a lot of other cities. So as a result, there's more millionaires here per capita. There's lots more, I guess, rich people because they have the ability you can manifest very easily. So on the flip side of that, there are more light workers, I believe, here in Calgary than per capita than I do believe anywhere in for sure Alberta. And also, I'm hazarding a guess to say many other places, including, well, maybe not Victoria, but definitely Calgary has a lot of light workers. And what I mean by light workers, I'm talking even if you are not awake, there are a lot of people who are very spiritually gifted here. Yes. You need all of this explained to me. You just don't understand. Okay, Colin. So now, what I'll explain for the beginners here to any of the ascension, like if you don't know what that means, what our planet is going through right now is a shuffling from the best way I can say it, from the old paradigms of being held under control by one specific 1% of people on the planet. All right. And feeding that greed. So if we look at it in simplest terms, is we're going from feeding money to the top, feeding computer information to the bottom. And so when you put those together, it's like a Star of David. So what our planet is doing has been breaking down that paradigm because of the planetary shifts. So from June 21st until today, we've been going through the laws of the way we want the new paradigm to be going forward. So our planetary alignment and ascension, the reason why a lot of us are awake and tuned in and tuned into our inner higher selves in our pineal gland is because the planets have been shifting us to allow that. Plus the frequencies from benevolent beings have been allowing us to up and move forward. So the focus on the painting last night was about, in the very center of it, was our negative relationships or negative attachments that we had to the success or whatever it was. We had some negative in energy attached to our parents. So, or my dog or what have you was in this. And so what we focused on and what we have been focusing on since the shift has all been happening this year is releasing and surrendering to love. We want to let all of that old paradigm go. And that's why a lot of us feel right now like, woo, this is getting so exciting. And because we're remembering, We are remembering our path and our journey and why we are here. It is coming to the meaning of life is within our is within our grasp, whereas we've been held without that information our whole entire time. So what we're going through right now, and we're going to be looking to the skies, okay? We're going to be looking to the skies 24 hours a day, especially starting in about 3 hours from now is when the true paradigm shift happens globally. So I will be starting, along with everybody else, a global mass meditation at 11:22 Mountain Standard Time. So if you're in Calgary, it starts at 11:22 a.m. this morning, and that is at 1:22 in Ontario, and so forth. So it's 10:22 in British Columbia or California. So just to give you a thought, yes, I start at 11:11. I'm going to be starting before that anyways. So the whole purpose of starting this today is to help aid humanity in this global meditation to increase the frequencies and vibrations among the human and experiences that we're having, increase the sound vibration, increase the love vibration. So if you can imagine that we've been showered with beautiful golden vibrations for quite some time, and we're protected and swirled in all of that love and light. And the earth has been lifted up basically in this frequency. So the lower vibrations aren't going to be held into the newer paradigm. So what we're experiencing today, literally today, is if you can imagine the clock is at 12 o'clock, pointing straight up, and that's 4D energy where that's truth, acceptance, and forgiveness. It's like we're tipping over into the 5D and going straight that way. So the sound and frequencies that are being uh, helped to create our clean our DNA and get us into a place that is all about ascension. And we are all ascending. Some of us are tapping in and tuning into our ascension higher than or faster than others because we have realized that we can co-create and manifest exactly what we want for that new world. This is heaven on earth we're creating now. So we were creating it before, but this is helping us even more. So this is what the global meditation is all about today. Surrender to love. We are past that frequency, I guess, in some of us where the truth does not hurt us anymore. Okay. And that's why we're living in just such a love and vibrant frequency. So I hope that kind of explains it to you, Colin, about what's happening now. So today in my painting, I'm like going to focus on the energy and the love and the the focus of where I'm going to take my own human experience, because we're immortal spirits having a biological entity. So we have to understand that we're kind of all like in this big computer program, and our immortal spirits are billions and billions of years old. So when we're born, it's like our pineal gland, that DNA that creates our pineal gland, that is our soul journey that was implanted at birth, okay? And this is what we're remembering again. We were awake when we were born. And that's why a lot of us could talk to spirit and the other side and those things. And then about 5 or 6, we started to go back to sleep. Okay. We started to go back to sleep with a lot of stuff because we couldn't handle all the information. If we knew everything at 6 years old that we knew now, like there would be a lot of trauma, I guess, and a harder place of understanding. So, what we're experiencing now on the earth is the people who are still in that 3D paradigm The people who have shifted over into the 5D are here to help hold the hands and the hearts of the people walking through their part of their biological experience, because we've remembered ours faster. That's the easiest way to explain it. So the whole meaning of life to me is about helping our brothers and sisters more than ever right now, because it's about light versus dark, good versus evil, IQ versus AI, and the biological experience with free will is what's co-creating our reality constantly in this time and in this place. When we completely all shift over to 5D, there is no time. There's no time. We can literally create a spot that says, I want to watch a Raven show or whatever, and boom, there it is with whatever you want to see, because we can tap into it. So what we're all doing right now is remembering our journey. So all the lovely dreams we've had, all of that is what we're going to be putting into this today. So enjoy. And today I'm going to switch it up quite a bit. Oops. Kind of. Anyways, yesterday we focused on using the dark colors. Today I'm focusing on using the light colors. Okay. So why, not necessarily light, but I'm mixing it with white. So, and as we've all realized through our journey, we both have shadow and light within us at all times. And if we don't work on our shadow, then we get pulled back to that. So I'm not sure where the global meditation is. There's a few of them going on right now. I'm not sure if check on Duomo Fifth Element Goddess. She might have hers loaded up. And I was going to go look for a link. I haven't really been really good on my phone. I haven't answered messages for days or been in my messenger. And then if you can't with her, then there is, to me, this is the easiest way for global meditation is I'm personally, because I'm not good at following instructions with global meditation. Okay. So today I'm going to explain while I do my painting. This is how we're going to anchor in the love. Okay. This is part of the global meditation for me. And then afterwards, I'm going to go in nature and I'm going to imagine myself as a tree and I'm full of gold, love, and light vibration frequency. And no matter if I'm walking or going anywhere, my feet will be rooted into that ground and that earth. Okay. So I'm going to take my favorite green, my lime green today, because we're going to go through a little bit of, this is all about love today. And green is the heart chakra. And we're returning love back to our canvas. So I kind of clean my brushes. I'm going to put my rag thing. Shoot. Oh, way over there. Okay, so I want to thank you again for tuning in to these relaxing. They're really relaxing to me. I never imagined I would be doing this stuff. It's so funny. It's this stuff. I thought I would be like teaching people how to draw on camera, but no, here I am doing paintings, which is fine. I'd rather be doing this because it's very therapeutic for me. And like I said, I really do believe art and art therapy and using colors to transmute these energies is the way of the future, just like sound and frequency and vibration are going to heal our bodies. Okay. So it's all about changing the dynamics of how you look at yourself. So someone mentioned that these were like little portals of energy. I'm going to change my brush. What I'm doing, let me see what I've got here. These are really purely just dollar store brushes here. They're nothing fancy. $2. I don't even buy them at like the big box stores because these same brushes are like $14 at Michael's and they're $2 a packet. They're the exact same brushes. So yes, I'm not paying attention to this. Um, yes, that's a good idea. Thank you. Thank you guys for having conversations about your meditations. I'm all about doing it by myself, like I said, because um, when we, I'm going to see if I can do this. Um, when we're in a big group of people or even get the frequencies from listening to someone, um, well, it's 1555. Um, I don't, how can I say this? I call them kind of like you're not certain, like the vortexes are so open right now that you're not certain of the vibrations that you're getting. So trust your instincts. But I know personally, I know Duomo Fifth Element Goddess, and she's got wonderful energy. She's the one that did the beach anchoring in with and she's been all over the world to Egypt and Bali, and Bali's her second home. And she does a lot of anchoring in of love everywhere she goes. She's been to Calgary. And yeah, so use your instincts. But I like to personally, when it's this important, I like to just keep repeating um, certain little mantra like, I am love. Okay, I am love. I am light. I was walking through the city last night. I don't even like this bro. And that's one. And oopsie, paint all over me. That's not a surprise. I'm using a little tiny brush, the one I used yesterday. And all I did was I focused my steps down into the earth as if I had big tree branch roots. And I just kept saying, I am anchoring in love for the city. Feel my vibrations. Feel my vibrations of love and light and pure joy and pure happiness for everything good to come to fruition. We sometimes get stuck in the gerbil wheel of thinking that something perilous is going to happen because we've been programmed. So if you have to even do this in your meditation to start your meditation, there's a lot to be said about um, tapping, okay, to reprogram. And you can sit there and tap your knees and go, I am love, I am light, before you start your meditation to sort of reprogram yourself to know, I love you, Raven. I love you so much. I love your apartment. I love the friends that you've made along your journey, and just keep tapping your legs. This is all I'm doing is moving my hands back and forth and creating that love that's kind of igniting all of our DNA. And when you're banging pots and pans at a freedom rally, that's reprogramming people too. That's reprogramming you that you are full of love, you are full of light, and you are worthy. So you need to keep that mantra up because your worthiness moving forward, our earth depends on it because you are worthy. So make sure you're giving yourself that love and light because you're going to fill yourself. You're going to look at everything around you in your third eye and draw that in to each part of your journey. I am love. I am light. So if you can't meditate, try and reprogram yourself for love. Even when you're walking. Honestly, sometimes I have such a hard time getting out of my head that I try and rewrite songs like in my head with loving vibration. So like, do they know it's Christmas? Instead of feed the world, I'll be like, heal the world. And I'm just repeating that over and over and over again, like to reprogram my brain, I guess, to get out of what that attachment was to whatever emotion that happened bad. Okay, we're reprogramming ourselves through our walks and stuff. And if you can't meditate to be present, I take my thoughts from my heart and put them into my head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am present. I am loved. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am full of love and light. I surrender. I surrender everything to love. And keep repeating that. I surrender to love. I surrender to love. I surrender all of my troubles to love. Because in the new frequencies, we won't feel those negative jujus. We won't know what that means. It'll look foreign to us. We will think those were caveman behaviors. That's how I feel. I felt most of my life. I'm like, why are people so mean? One of my favorite state phrases for in the early 2000s is, why do you got to be like that? And now I'm just like, you know what? It's all about allowing people. Their immortal spirits are trying to figure out their computers right now. And we've all had glitches. So the more we work through, hey, what's glitching my computer? And surrender it to love in the most gentle way. Surrender it to love. There's nothing else to do right now. If you knew how powerful that was, I'll bring up Monsters Inc. again, just to refresh your memories. When all the kids are screaming in terror, it generates a lot of electricity. But when we all band together in harmony and in love and light, we blow the circuits. So that's what's happening right now on our planet. You can say that if you look to the skies, you will see in the frequencies and vibrations, say like what sonar and bats and stuff can pick up. We're actually catching those frequencies ourselves right now. That's the ability. I believe that's what we're hearing in our downloads when we get our ear ringing, is we're getting that vibration sent to us so that we can hear like dolphins. And that brings me to a really good point about Duomo yesterday, or when she did her global meditation on Saturday on the beach. Dolphins came out there. Dolphins were all swirling around. Dolphins know about sacred geometry. They use it when they're fishing. And the sound and clicks and stuff that they make is like at such a high frequency that it's been studied for years. We all know that dolphins are reported to be smarter than many humans. I'll, I'll second that notion right now. So I think about swimming with dolphins again. I've never swam with a dolphin, but in my dreams. But when this is all over, I'm going to get a glass bottom paddle boat or a see-through paddle boat, and I'm going to go boarding in the ocean and swim with the turtles. I swam with the turtles in Barbados. And I touched this big, huge tortoise. Like, I don't even know how big this turtle was. It was huge. And I think about those moments too, is, how special they are when we connect with nature. 3 years ago, I fed a raven at Lake Louise, and it came right up to me, and I happened to have dog kibble in my coat pocket. And I couldn't even believe it, because I always thought I was like Snow White if I sang a song, and oh, and all of a sudden the birds would come, and and they do if you manifest them, if you're just still in your heart, they can see. So many times I would be out walking my dog Paz, whose name means peace in Spanish, and I return karma back to my life with my other dog from yesterday. So I'm going to talk about My last dog I helped this world. I wasn't planning on getting a dog, but my niece had 4 puppies, and I said, if no one takes the last one, I will. And because I knew that I was going to help this dog have a good life. I could see the life before, if that made any sense. And had been having dreams about this blue-eyed dog. And so what I did was I had this dog for 1 whole year. She was a mix of 5 different dogs. She looked like a pure pit bull. People were afraid of her, but she had blue eyes and a little patch over her left ear, brown patch. She was brindle and white, and she had freckles everywhere. She was mixed with a Springer Spaniel, a Bull Mastiff, a Staffy, and a black and white coonhound or something. It was really, there was a whole bunch of weird dogs in there. But I got her, and I had a hard time walking every day, and I needed exercise myself. So when I got her as a puppy, we had a routine, and her family routine was very kennel oriented. So she was a really great dog to, she only had, I think, 2 accidents in the house and stuff, but loved her little kennel where it sat. She was kind of like the protector. It was right outside my bedroom door by the bathroom. And because I can't sleep with dogs in my bed. So we would never sleep. Neither one of us would get sleep. I just would never ever sleep with an animal. I love animals, but I know my limits. So this dog, I had her, and I trained her to go on the bus, the C train. She sat under the handicapped thing. Like, I basically trained her to be a really good companion dog, to help, because I had problems walking so bad that I had a limp, and it took me a long time. And so it was really nice to train her like that. And then what ended up happening, after a year of her just being the most awesome dog, like kids could roller skate around her, and other dogs, like I took her to the off leash park almost every day, and she got along with all the other dogs. And like, she's an awesome dog. So I was going to Costa Rica 2 years ago, and my friend, I'm a girl I worked with, dog sat dogs. I'm like, hey, can you dog sit my dog? And she goes, well, we're actually going to the pound tomorrow. Dog. And she had broken her femur the year before. And they're an older couple like myself, like in their 50s, and they don't have any kids. And I said, well, it's not really fair to the dog if I get you to dog sit for 2 months or 3 months and then come back and get her for 4 months and then give her back to you while I go to Europe for a year. Because I had this, basically, it was the basis of my book that I was writing. And so I gave her the dog. And it was the hardest thing I ever did in my entire life. But for months afterwards, it was so fascinating because Paz and I dreamt, and we missed each other. But it's going to make me cry a little bit. But I can feel her vibes, and I see pictures of her all the time. And she is so friggin' spoiled. She has her own little queen size dog bed at the end of their bed. And she's just probably the best dog. And they text me for months afterwards saying, thank you for giving us a child. It was literally like I adopted them. It was hard for me to do that, but I felt like I was returning my karma back with my other dog, because it was the most selfless thing I could have done for that dog. If I was selfish, I would have found another boarding place for the dog and then just come back and gotten her. And I thought that was mean. So I'm grateful for that experience of the year and a bit that I had with my dog, because she's so beautiful. We had dreams. The lady would text me and she's like, Paz was crying in her sleep last night. And I said, oh, I had a dream about her last night. And um, so it was hard, but I didn't want an open adoption. I didn't want to go back. I thought that was too hard for the dog. I thought that's just not very nice and kind for the dog. Because of I had a dog quite a while ago, a Bernese Mountain Dog, and when I had my cancer, I had like 5 or 6. When I had the cancer, I had 5 kids living with me on and off, and this dog. And I had to give her away because she was like 4 years old, and that was an open adoption. And I went and saw her and walked her every Saturday. And then the owners took her to an off leash. The new owners took her to an off leash park, and she ran away from them, and she got hit by a sea train, and she lived. But I wasn't allowed to see her after that. It was too traumatizing. So that was very sad for me. And I don't blame them for not wanting me to see her because she got really excited. I think she was running to see me. So running to find me. So it's interesting what we go through in our life with animals, and how that affects our emotions. And I just know that in the new paradigm, where if dogs can feel your frequency, they're all obviously in 5D. I really do believe that I can go and pet my dog anytime, and I do that all all the time. I go and pet her and play with her. I taught her so many awesome things. But I just send so much love to Paz. She's so cute. I'll show you a picture of her in another video. So today we're just surrendering everything to love. I just love that dog so much. She's hilarious. She loved to play. I taught her how to catch kibble, and she was just hysterical. Without a word of a lie, I'm not joking. She is the prettiest dog in the whole wide world. Like, I thought my Bernese Mountain Dog was pretty, but Paz, oh my Lord, could melt hearts from a million miles away. Everybody asked to pet her. She loved little babies. She loved little babies so much, she would like, because their fingers are all gooey full of stuff. So, I know I can't have another pet anymore. Like, my son has my fish right now because I went on vacation in September, and he abducted my fish. So I go and visit them. He only lives downstairs. They're in the same building. It's not like they went far. But I go and I always ask him, "Can I feed the fish?" He's like, "Sure, I haven't fed them yet today." So I go and feed the fish. My son and his girlfriend made me some Mexican sugar cookies yesterday. So I got a tin of those. I have to dunk them in milk or coconut milk or whatever, because they're a little too, or tea, a little too hard for my dental surgery still, but they're quite tasty. So thank you. Yes. Aw. Rescued my golden retriever. Has like, aw, that's cute. I literally, it's so cute. Dogs know me, cats know me. I'm not a big cat fan. Like, I don't like cats in the house. Like, because I can't sleep with animals in my bed. And B, when they're roaming around, I've dog sat and cat sat and stuff and rabbit sat and gerbil sat, all of those things. I haven't fed a snake though, other than a trouser snake. Ha 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 ha. There's the joke for the day. I find myself funny. You're welcome for that throw-in bonus joke. It's all about keeping the vibes high today and light and love. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of white paint here because it won't pick up the other colors. This is a trick when you use fluorescent or glow-in-the-dark paint. Always put white on the bottom, especially when you're doing body painting. I don't know if anybody's ever tried body painting, but I have a body painting kit. I bought a set of kits about 2 years ago when I went to Costa Rica. I was in Montreal right before that, and I bought body painting kits so we could practice camouflage in the jungle. with the person I went, but instead that person left me in the jungle on Christmas Eve, canceled my plane ticket and went home. Yeah, light and love to that person. Thank you for bringing me on the trip in the first place, but I ended up buying my whole entire trip and then some afterwards. Money, I don't know. Money comes, money goes. Who cares? The experience. But the family in Costa Rica that I lived in, uh, this one out of the three houses that were up against this jungle, and the family, the host family, amazing people. I'm going to give a shout out to John and Teresa and Helen and this John Jr. and Abuelo, the grandfather across the way. They were so fabulous. I had Christmas with them. They took care of me. They even helped rebuy my plane tickets to Barbados because the my credit card wouldn't work after that person left. So I just love them. I think about them all the time. So what I did with the body paints is Teresa and Helen and I, the mom and the daughter, we all sat in the cabana and we painted our arms in body paint or our legs, and it was so much fun. And like I said, that's where I take myself a lot of the time, was back to, I could have thought that was the most traumatizing thing that would happen to a female, is being left. Costa Rica is not a safe place for white females to be wandering around by themselves, period. End of story. So, especially near Limon. Ugh. Limon means lemon. Don't go there. Tip number one. That's the last place in Costa Rica you want to go. So scary. But I will tell you a funny story about Costa Rica. So while this person and I were hanging out for the first week or two, um, we went to go visit iguanas and sloths on the other side at Porto Viejo, and we met this really nice lady um, from Poland who was doing these trips. I want to do it this way. I always like changing the perspective because then I don't know, it's just funner. So, oh, you're having a hot bath. Yay. So, oh, Aslan, you like that joke. You're welcome. So, I forgot where I was going with my story. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, the Costa Rica. So we go out to Puerto Viejo and we're driving out there. He drives the first time in this little beat up piece of shit car. Like, because I don't have a driver's license. I did not have a driver's license at the time. I know how to drive, like everything. I've driven all kinds of vehicles, but he didn't know how to drive a stick shift. So the next time we went back to the rental place, I'm talking, these vehicles are $500 tops in Canada. They literally tell you, he says, don't hit people, don't drink or smoke, and uh, don't hit people walking. That's what he said. And anything that happens to the car, don't worry about it. It's covered. And you're like, oh, okay. I'm like, not even kidding you. It was that funny. So we drive it's about a 4 hour drive the first time. And it's a terrifying drive. If you've never been to Costa Rica, it's like mountain winding, snake turning, like it's like driving through Golden, BC. And, but like scarier because people are passing you on corners around the mountain. No shit. So people just, they don't follow traffic laws. And you see police and you're like, oh, the police are there. They're literally, the cop cars are on with their lights flashing and they're like standing there having a cigarette. They don't give a shit how you drive. And so the second time we go to this place, we go back driving and we rent a stick shift truck, a little Toyota, I think it was. And because we wanted the windows to roll down, we didn't have rolling down windows or something. It was funny, or air conditioning. I forgot which was the thing. But anyway, so I had to drive. Now, I have driven in North America without question, easily over 1 million kilometers on vehicles. I'm talking from motorhomes to motorbikes to mopeds. Okay. I have never been more terrified in my entire life than when I drove from La Suiza to Porto Viejo and back again. I was like, I was saying every kind of prayer. Okay, so we were coming out of through Limon, and it basically be like this in traffic, and we're trying to turn from here to go this way. People are coming at us, 3 lanes of traffic from nowhere without signals are like in front of our car. So this car tries jamming in from like the left diagonally, so it's coming straight at you, and I'm like, where are these people going? And they just like get out of your way. They don't even beep, they just drive. So if you're not crawling and inching along and pushing your own way in, it's like the craziest thing. It took us over an hour to make a left-hand turn at 2 lanes that were supposed to go forward and one left. There was a guy in a wheelchair in the very middle of that. He wasn't directing traffic, but I said to my friend, I'm like, well, we know how he got in the wheelchair. Like, holy is all I can say. Then we leave this, we're down this left-hand turn, finally, and we're waiting in the lane of traffic. Like, it's a highway, and there's buses of people and motorcycles with 2 and 3 people on them passing on the dirt shoulder in 2 lanes beside us. So they would have been like running over people on the sidewalk. It was so friggin' like, and I was not smoking marijuana at that time, so you can imagine how that went. Yikers. It was hilarious. So fun times. But had I not done that, I wouldn't have this story to sit there and tell you right now. It was great times. So I take all of my funny experiences because on every vacation, I've had something happen that most people would be like, I'm going home. I can't do this anymore. Had enough. Like last year, I was in Switzerland, and I was waiting for somebody to pay me back funds that was supposed to, of like a substantial amount of money. Yeah, I'll give it to you. And I'm like, okay, I got to get it before my trip. Yeah, I'll get it to you. And they didn't. So I was kind of stranded in Switzerland. I was like, most people would have just like, okay, I'm getting on my plane and going home now. I've had enough. And yeah, started playing a banjo on the street corner for tips. But not me. It all got fixed. I don't worry about too much. I always think it'll all work out because of co-creating our reality. That's how I've been my whole life with money. Don't worry, it'll come around. You know, not to say that I have not been homeless before. I have a few times. It's not that I'm not proud of it, but or I'm not ashamed of it. People would be like, "Oh, you're out on the street?" Yeah, a lot of my friends were out on the street. People would I basically couch uh, surfed for a couple of months with my youngest son for while we moved out from this bad place. Yeah, so it happens, man. Just got to go with the flow. Be thankful that you have your health and everything. But now we know how the world works. It's like, woo-wee. I'm excited. I'm so excited. So here I've laid down some now because the green is acting all poopy. I'm going to put my nice, lovely purple vibes. Yes, Greece is, I've been to Greece. I was there last year. Thank goodness I drove with a guy that was a little kooky in the head, because he was like both hands on the steering wheel, like a grandpa, but people were driving crazy there. So it's, oh, like 4 4 4 4 4 4 now. Yay. Okay, so I've got some purple here, and I'm going to do the same thing, but bring more of it through my brush because we're putting all of our, is about our crown chakra now. This is about using your intuition to get further ahead in the game. Using your spidey senses. Wait, that doesn't sit right with me. And I'm going to switch up my brush here because I'm going to make some bigger swoops. So, not because it's going slower, but because I want bigger swoops right now. And I try and keep it on the canvas so I'm connecting it all. That's why I wanted to switch. So you're like just and don't think about it if you're sitting at home doing this with me. There's like even I'm just not even concentrating. I'm thinking about just how much love I'm gonna have and abundance of it when everybody's in 5D. I'm like, that's what I think about all the time. Not like I think about the bridge already being dismantled and us creating this world where it's people don't even know what happened. Like we're not going to remember the yucky stuff if we don't want to. I often wondered, like, do I want to know about all of my past lives moving forward and then have something like the Men in Black make you forget it if it was painful? I think that's kind of what's happening now anyways, is we're programming ourselves to and getting programmed with our frequencies being increased. So those vibrations won't even hold on. Oh, I like how this is turning out. See, I have no expectations about it at all when I start. And then even when I left it yesterday, I'm like, I don't know if I like that very much. Looks kind of groovy, but and just so much love it on this planet. I just love. And thank you guys. I honestly, I cannot thank you guys enough. Every time you tune in, you're giving me such encouraging vibes and loving vibes. And you don't think sometimes you have an effect or you're part of the Spice Girls. If you're watching, you're part of the Spice Girls. I'm going to do a show after this afternoon with just a little, it's going to be a short little show. Just checking here, 9:14. Yeah. Yeah, that's so cute. Vicky goes, that's so funny. I thought I was just gonna ask you if you thought it would be like a Men in Black thing. Well, here's what I think. Okay, if like I'm just kind of again using my logical thinking. You guys have seen those experiments where they put sand on a metal plate and then they hook it up to music, and then that music creates that vibration and state sequence into sacred geometry. That's what our DNA is built for. And so I think what's happening right now is our DNA is getting realigned in its sacred geometric pattern. And that's what we're hearing in our vibrations. And when that happens, the junk on our DNA is shifted because it's almost like the dead sand falling off of the side of the tray. That's how I kind of envision it, is that those negative dead weight rocks of vibrations that we don't need anymore just fall away because we've surrendered it to love. So the further I get on my journey of self-awareness and how I am manifesting and co-creating this beautiful paradigm for my family to be welcomed in, like my sons. I don't ever want to come from a place of I told you so, because that's a harmful vibration. It's not one filled with love or light. So my vibration is just sending them like the highest of frequency. I literally went back to the time when I held all of my children in my, even am I saying it, it makes me want to cry. I held all of my children for the very first time in my arms. And I know that frequency that I'm tapping in there, it just leads right to the middle of my crown chakra and my heart chakra. It lifts me up in a way that, I know parents understand, but if you yourself, if you're not even a mother or father, put yourself in the place of the first time you remember hugging your mother or father and what that felt like, and remembering the times where you felt safe and secure, even if it was one or two times in your life. I can't remember very many times where I actually hugged my father. So I do remember the one time it was attached to a painful memory, but I don't think about that painful memory anymore. I just think about the time that I hugged my father. So we take ourselves back and we replace that with love, in this intuition of knowing that we are love and light bodies. The journey becomes so much more light and vibrant that, I don't know, I think it's going to be like rocks from oil and water mix up, like our frequencies just can't hang on to those dead rocks anymore. And you can look at that as like an old relationship, even. We had an old relationship with our 3D selves, and now we're moving on to a new relationship with our 5D selves, where we're co-creating and manifesting everything that we want, not only for ourselves, and it's not in a selfish way, it's fill your cup up so you can help others way, right? So, yes. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to take my next favorite color, which is aqua. Can't speak English today. No speaking the English. Where's my favorite color? Okay, so, and I'm going to put it right on beside my purple and the green, because this is how we blend. This is kind of like a throat chakra color. Not entirely, but it's close enough. It's like throat and heart together. So I'm going to take this and my blue, and I'm simply going to fill in some spaces here. And I'm focusing on the love that I'm going to be speaking in my truths. This new paradigm is going to be so amazing. I can't wait to meet Galactic Council. I think that's going to happen. We'll be able to tune into this new, I don't think we're going to have the government that we had. That's part of what's going on right now, the dismantling of how corrupt the court systems are. So our new system has nothing to do with someone being better. It has to do, or promoting products through the voting of it in, or what do they call it, the government, where they have those people who go in, like, in these secret rooms, and they're making these back deals. There won't be any of that, because those don't sit in heart secrecy does not sit in heart vibration. There really won't be any more secrets if we look at it logically. How can you have secrets when everybody is in like a higher dimension of love and light, where it's do no harm, and secrets are a thing that's harmful, right? So yeah. Yes. You have a body. That's right. Beverly says, I tell people that you're not a body, you have a body. Now rock that avatar. Whoop, whoop. That's exactly it. Some of us take a long time to realize how powerful our avatars are. But that's the whole thing in the old paradigm. They didn't want us to know how much we are godlike and how we could create our realities. Like, I can't wait to fly because I'm scared of heights. I think that would be the best cure. Slap on some wings and have at her. And I had a theory actually the other day, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's just really a theory. It's just oh, thank you. My rambling on is so nice and lovely. You're welcome. Yeah, I ramble. My theory about our new paradigm is that we can take ourselves wherever, even out of this dimension. And the paradigms of, say, attachment to one specific human being, say like your ex-boyfriend or whatever, are going to be gone. It's going to be like, can I say this? An extension of yourself and your time. So with other people, more than how been made to believe that we own somebody because we have a piece of paper between us. Like, that sense of loyalty will be a different sense. It'll be one of um, recognition in another soul instead of in what that person's has to offer financially, or that sort of thing. It'll be the soul's recognition in another being from another lifetime, um, more than it will be anything. So what I envision is finding out who my children were, my father was in our other lifetimes. Are they always your parents? I don't think so, you know? And that's when I was writing my book. I was trying to figure all that out over the last 6 years. I was trying to figure out what happens when we reincarnate. Do we come back to fight the missions of our former life where we left off? Like, in our grandparents, like, am I part great grandparent, or do we go to another body in another country and experience that? Can we be these other people from other lives? And I've learned this year that yes, we can be these other people from other lives, because that's our soul journey coming back to reconnect with everybody here in this time right now. So I think the new paradigm isn't going to be so much about having a marriage certificate as much having a soul, I don't want to say contract, but agreement, soul agreement, because that's how we determined we were going to behave moving forward. Is because jealousy is someone having something that you don't have. Now, if we're ever able to co-create and manifest whatever it is we need, then will we have jealousy anymore? What do you think? No, your life is not going to repeat this one. You know why? Because the frequencies aren't going to allow it. So, and if you're aware right now, this is my theory too. If you're aware right now in our ability to co-create and manifest change and destiny, then do you not think that maybe we could be ascended masters? And when we all go through the 5D ascension, like the ones that are really awake right now, that's what we're realizing, is we are ascended masters and we're here to help the other ones. That's what I'm curious about, because if I were to have a death experience tomorrow, I would never walk towards the light. I know that's the joke. That's how they fool us, by telling us to walk towards the light, because the light is where our soul, that's where we meet God. And that would mean our immortal spirit is done with this biological entity. I would never walk toward the light now. I'm like, man, I got a purpose here. So I think if that were to happen, then we would be able to, in the future, because of our manifestation powers, create that other paradigm. I don't know if that makes sense. So I know that sounds like a little bit of a stoner talk, but I'm not stoned. Not as much as I should be. So I'm going to add some, now that the blues are all coming together, I'm just going to put some swoops of white in here to brighten it up and to anchor in some more positive vibes. And I'm, again, not even thinking about anything in particular. It's just, again, putting paint on the canvas and making it happy and feel like I'm creating these alternate paradigms and realities right here. Like, and this is kind of like a vortex, center of the vortex or whatever. And it could be the center of my third eye. Who knows? Doesn't look like this when I'm. This is kind of like my thought process, though. I think about a bazillion things all at once. So that's what I'm wondering in the new paradigm, is if we're just going to be able to say if we want to have 5 relationships, sexual relationships with 5 beings, because we've met those 5 beings in another paradigm, I don't think the jealousy will be there if we want to connect. That's just my thought, personally. I don't know. Maybe we just connect up with our twin flame and we realize who that was and we stick with that person. I have no idea. I know we'll have the ability to have more children if we want. Hell's no is all I gotta say. I'm 51. No thanks. I don't want to keep having kids in my 800s. A whole lot of work. But I also think in our other reality, in our new reality, it's going to be like our children. I don't know if you've seen the movie K-Pax, where we all share in the ability to raise the children. So we might have, say, a child physically of our own DNA, but it's a group effort, just like my dog, you know? So takes a village. I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen. Because I love other people's kids. I love my own kids. I like babysitting. I love doing art lessons. I love doing all that. What did Vicky said? I went to God through sepsis failure. I was given a choice to stay or come back. I told if I was come back would be better than anything I'd ever imagined. Yay, Vicky! I love that story. Thank you. A lot of us have had death experiences. I had one when I was in Cuba. My appendix ruptured. I was there for a 2-week vacation and my appendix ruptured. And it ruptured on Thursday or Friday, I think. And I had it taken out on Saturday. I had sepsis so bad coursing through my body. It was hideous. And I got woken up in Cuba. I didn't know Spanish, keep in mind. I got woken up in Cuba with 5 doctors standing over my bed and say, you canceria. And I was like, excuse me? I'm like, did you just say I have cancer? Yeah, appendicia. um, and canceria, big abnormality. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you just told me I had a cancer in my appendix and it ruptured. So that's what happened. And while I was there, I remember that moment as well, where I was walking and I didn't realize that was happening, aesthetic and stuff. But yes, I had a choice. But when I woke up, all I remembered is that what the psychic said to me a few years ago about something will happen to you in your 30s and it will scare most people, but you'll be okay. And I was like, okay, right on. That's what that was. And I wonder if I hadn't have gone to her, how I would have reacted, but I think I still would have been the same because I've always had the same mental well-being. Ah, as far as the grand, bigger picture of things, I've always believed things were going to get better, and feelings are like ships passing in the night. If you can get that ship through that storm, you're going to see the other side of the hurricane. And that's how I've pretty much been now. And I just realized that life is just so much better when you retrain and reprogram your body to accept and receive love on so many levels. So it doesn't have to be, there's so many types of love. People think it has to be a sexual commitment and that. I'm like, no, I love so many people, so many different ways for so many different reasons. So, and I think that's the way it's going to be too, is that we'll just know that there are so many ways to love people, you know? So, yes. Put some more zips of purple in here. Get rid of all my paints on this canvas. And I like it when the colors mix together, like the blue and the purples, because you get these really fabulous. And I would just keep loading the brush. I don't take and clean my brush off. I just keep swooshing it in through the paint color so I can create a new color. Because there's so many new colors that you can't even imagine. We only know the basic, that's a shade of purple, that's a shade of blue, this is a shade of, but there's colors in between there that are just so brilliant and vibrant. So I just have so much love for everybody. I have love for my doctors in Cuba that saved my life. I think I've died 3 times on this earth in this meat suit, and I've just challenged it. Maybe that's why I feel so powerful. I have a fuck you, I'm living in this suit longer. We can't ever take ourselves seriously, remember? This is what that painting's all about, is just focusing the love where we need it to go. Okay, now I'm going to switch up colors and use some blue. Blue. Now, what kind of blue do I want to use? How about blue neon? I'm all fan with the blues. And I'm going to put a little bit more white. And I'm going to leave this green here. This is blue neon. It says it's neon, but it's not really neon. It's just blue. Doesn't glow. Ripped off at the drive-thru. Okay, now. I like this big brush. It's making some good stuff. Different. This is a little bit smaller than the last one I used. Okay, so I've got some blues on my brush. This brush sucks. Not that brush. Back to the big chunky monkey. Okay, so. Oh, I love these stories. Good. I'm glad you are breaking out some paints today. Yay, yay, yay. That's what it's all about. Is just focusing on the love. This is your throat and using it to speak your truths. So much love on this planet. So much love. This whole painting will be filled with just love and good vibes. And if you're like, again, if your blue is a crappy, like watery color, mix it again with a little bit of white. It'll bring it to life. You can close up your swirls if you want. It's about nothing being perfect. Just letting it flow. Let it flow, let it flow. There's a new song. Some of the funniest things. Oh, I really hope we all get our angelic voices back. That would be awesome. My mom could not sing her way out of a wet paper bag, but she tried. She tried at times around the campfire. I also remember my mom smoke. The first time I ever saw my mom smoke a joint. Oh my lord, hilarious! Have any of you caught your parents smoking cannabis or doing something you wish you'd never seen them do or heard? Yes, and yes, and yes. It'll be like so easy in the new paradigm. Noise canceling ears on. Come on, Blue. Let's go. Quit being so lazy. There we go. Mix some green in just to keep your butt. There we go. Love, so much love. Did you guys have a good sleep last night? I didn't ask. I did not, but that's just the way it's been for the past little bit here. Did you guys sleep? The biz last week. No, me and my mom could not. I wish my mom smoked cannabis. Oh, I know. I wish my mom smoked more when she like. I believe my mom, had she gotten off the scripts, my mom was addicted to prescription meds. Um, Thanks to the way the doctors go, you know how that works. Opiate addiction is probably one of the worst things in North America to deal for families to deal with, because you might not realize it, but your granny could be addicted to opiates, and it causes a lot of problems. So, but now that I know how the world works, I really do believe that was the way they kept the light down even further. And my mom was a big, huge light worker and an unrealized, untapped into light worker. She did pray a lot and she went to church. She helped out with people she could. That was the last part of her life was rugged because of her addictions. So, but we're given addictions, and if we overcome them, then we're powerful light workers. That's how I believe it. And I've had addictions to relationships. I've been addicted to um, perfectionism. That's all gone now. Those addictions won't exist, I don't believe, in this light and love new body of because our rainbow body is just catching on to the whole system, and our DNA is getting cleaned off. So that those things just won't exist. Trauma is the gateway drug. Most people haven't figured that one out. And if trauma doesn't exist, then why would addictions, right? That's my thinking, my rationalization. A happy little accident. So I might come back and finish this later after some of this white has dried, because after the meditation that I'm going to do soon, in a little bit here. I'm gonna turn my, and I like the way it's kind of looking like their little peacock feathers starting to bloom out. That really wasn't intentional, but I like how that kind of created upon itself. Because I do see the new world as such a beautiful, vibrant spot. It probably, the peacock feathers. I was watching a show about birds yesterday, and the peacock was on there, of course. And just looking at how perfect the layers of feathers and where it was related into their spread of or fan of feathers is just so beautiful. And I just love looking at it. I love watching birds outside, not inside. I'd never have a bird inside. Oh, I love these swirls that are coming out. What do you guys think? You liking how the beautiful, um, happy spot that this is turning into? I personally do. I don't. Uh, I don't think about much when I'm painting something abstract like this, except for you know how cool the colors are when they blend together. Like even right here, there's a little bit of purple, green, white. So fun. So fun. I'm gonna have to do one whole program one day on just pure good old comedy. I'll have to find some and rewrite some poems for you guys, and maybe I'll make some jokes about what we're going through now, plus some 3D jokes. 3D jokes are really funny. And what I mean by 3D jokes, like uh oh right, fourth time Peacock has shown up. Oh yay. Nice. Okay, perfect. Love it. So fourth time Peacock. Look up Peacock totem medicine because it's obviously trying to tell you something. Might have something to do with pride and ego. And I'm not saying that to be rude. It's just that's what it would remind me of. I'm not saying, hey, dude, you got a big fat ego. Better look that up. That's not what I'm saying. We're all friends here. We get each other's humor. I think by now you should get my humor and know my intentions. I'm hoping of love, peace on earth. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see our new love, new life. And I do think about my 5D love from time to time. I'm wondering what that will look like. Because if we're to look to the skies, maybe it's not even a human that I'm looking for. Maybe I'm gonna fall in love with a Klingon. Or somebody from another planet. Who knows? Who knows what that looks like? We always think we know who we're gonna fall in love with, but then we always get taken by surprise. I'm still in my warrior clothes right now, so it's hard to switch from a battle armor of being in the trenches to, oh, I feel so in love right now. Any distractions. My 5D love will come to me when it's ready. That's how I think. Oh, I just love how this is turning into something just so fab. So fab. So what I'm gonna do is just add a little bit more, the last of the blue and white here that I have. and focus on, it's not that I want to cover up all the pink or yellow. I just, we're just putting so many layers on, and all I'm focusing is on the love part. Love, 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 love. Moving forward into the new paradigm of just so much happiness. Happy, happy. I am love. I am a light body. I'm entering my rainbow body, crystalline form, into a space where I'll be able to help people with my thoughts, my heart very easily. Sometimes you just gotta hum a little song. And almost gonna leave it now, almost up to my 1.5 hour mark here. I hope you guys are drinking coffee and relaxing and or painting and thinking about how wonderful our lives are going to be very shortly when we're in that new reality and we realize everybody has what they need on this earth. Isn't that going to be just friggin' amazing? All the food, the replicators, the new technology, so we won't all be starving or sick. It's going to be amazing. I should have drank some more coffee and had a smoke before I did this, but welcome. Oh, just so much light entering our bodies right now in our DNA, just so much light and love. So much fabulousness. I don't think we have any idea how fabulous it's going to be, you guys. We might think we have an idea, but take your darkest of dark and turn that upside down. Everything has an opposite reaction. Just think about that. Times where you cried the hardest with tears of sadness, what do you think's going to happen in the opposite? Those tears of joy are going to be so flippin' amazing. It'll be like right back when we had our children, or we were born and we saw our parents smile for the first time in our eyes. We're going to remember all of that. We're going to remember laughing and cooing as babies because we'll have that fixed in our DNA, right? Oh, it's going to be fabulous. So I'm going to come back here later and put some more wonderful colors on this canvas. But I'm actually going to create right now, before, with intent, the figure 8 of infinite energy. And it's not in the middle because who cares? And it's not straight and it's not perfect. But it's over that spot we created yesterday of our old 3D life. So now we're replacing it all with focus and intent and loving healing on this new paradigm. It's good to do the energy both ways. There you go. All right. So now I love you guys. I'm gonna let you go for a little while so you can go meditate. Today is a beautiful day. I'm gonna tell you, because you watched this whole video, the first tidbit of information I don't think I brought here. No, I didn't. There are flights canceled to the UK for a reason, okay? Keep your eyes to the skies in the UK, London area, and throughout Europe if you're there, okay? Flights were canceled from certain locations for a certain reason. So there might be some friends visiting over top. I'm expecting to see a lot of benevolent beings in the next future. So I'm going to go outside today and tomorrow and ask to see my guides out there. So, oh, anchoring in heaven all summer long. I love that. So, yes, you wait in Oversoul to meet your family. Yay. So this hasn't even turned out how anybody expected. I know it's not how I expected, but it's interesting to see that normally, if I were to put this painting like this, I would have done this infinite loop this way, but I did it backwards. So anyways, but I'm going to continue on this because it's not about the what it looks like. It's about putting the intention of love in and surrounding it in love is the most important for me. I got the hiccups again. Seems when I get to the hour and a half mark, I get hiccups. Hilarious. So thank you guys for tuning in today. And my last message to you before I let you go on your ascension meditations is no matter who you are, no matter where you are, and no matter what happened in the 3D paradigm of love and life, that's what brought you to this moment now. And I am so grateful for the lessons that we have all learned, the challenges that we've all had, the dark shadow that we overcame. We walked across that 40 bridge and we're standing here with our torches and our swords, just so proud to be light bearers, to bring light to the rest of humanity in our heart space. This is the most important lesson we need to know today is we are loved, we are surrounded in love, we are rainbow bodies, we are light heavenly bodies being cleaned so we can aid humanity in the highest of consciousness, the highest of empathy, the highest of compassion, and the highest good of the collective consciousness. Because when we operate from our heart space, we vote from our heart space, we turn into the tree of life, and that's where we are all headed on this great big journey. The tree of life is how we all connect to source and together. So thank you for being with me, brothers and sisters, on this journey. It has been truly a blessing, truly. From the bottom of my heart to yours. Blessings. Light and love.